Hey, what's up, guys? It's Flopping Groper, January 10th, 2025. And this is an update on Bitcoin's bearish situation here, tussling with that Trump VWAP with the 5-day SMA downtrend. How are we looking on this idea from yesterday? I actually think that this might be a juicy short opportunity here on the 1-hour chart. This 1-hour high here got some nice hidden bear div where the waves come up, but the price is flat. And I did a little VWAP fishing around with the anchored VWAP tool here. I put a VWAP on this high volume sell candle back here, and that's exactly where we are rejecting currently. So I am anticipating this larger 5-day downtrend, this black line here, to take over the trend here very soon, and for that Trump VWAP to get battered down. And this is backed up by so many things, guys. So many things. The quarterly leapfrog play, which I talked about in my last video. The idea that when a new quarter begins, oftentimes we like to correct or go back to the previous quarter's VWAP. And on Bitcoin, that is down here at around 84K. Now also look at Market Cipher, guys. Market Cipher on the daily is a trigger wave. And on these daily time frames, it's an even tighter trigger wave. The weekly still about to lose that 60 line, which in and of itself is a signal of even more continuation down, potentially. The 2-week is a textbook bear div here, where the price goes higher and the waves go lower. And this goes all the way up, all the way to the monthly. The monthly is the worst one. The monthly is a divergent, double-headed, overbought wave. And if you look at lifetime Bitcoin, this gives evidence of a diminishing returns narrative for Bitcoin. Smaller waves over time as price goes up higher. And you can see that this lifetime Bitcoin trend here, this was a gift by the creator of Market Cipher. To me, he lets me use this tool. But I'm going to share it with you guys. This is Bitcoin's expected uptrend over the years. And ultimately, we fell out of those expectations. And this entire bull run has just been us trying to get back into that channel. But every time we come into it, we are met with resistance. And so this is a rickety time. And so looking at Bitcoin interacting around these levels up here, it's not necessarily bullish that we create a lower high outside of that channel range. So all these macro timeframes don't really have your back for catching the long on this Trump VWAP here. It's a nice short-term play. I called it out on the last video that it was likely that this happened, but there's a larger threat at play here, and so if it can reclaim all of these critical VWAPs and flip that 5-day SMA back into an uptrend, I'll go bullish again for sure. But the trend is your friend until the end, guys, and we've got a lot of bearish indicators going off for us here. So I'm in a swing short, super low leverage, but can't help myself, guys. I really trust these VWAPs. So when the VWAPs are saying we're going for a quarterly correction, I'm like, I start licking my lips. But man, look on Twitter. So Scottie Pippen posted this picture. They want your Bitcoin. They want your crypto. Don't get shaken out. And he's saying that we're at the bear trap right now. He's saying that we are here. Now, remember the shape of this chart here. Because when I look at Bitcoin on the daily, I mean, what I see is that first high that he's talking about in this tweet, see the first sentiment extreme here? That was definitely back in March. We broke that old cycle all-time high. We had that unsinkable ship feeling. We kind of knew 100K was coming. We just didn't know how long it was going to take, but we were willing to wait however long it took to get to 100K. That was how we were feeling up here. at like 74K or whatever. And that was a top. And then down here, this summer dump down to 50K, that I believe was the bear trap, because a lot of analysts, myself included, could easily see a dump down to the previous year's year to date. It was very easy to call for like 40K back then, but we did not. And so that was clearly a bear trap, and it ended up being a head and shoulders bottom there, which we did call on this channel. You can look up the video. So, you know, once Trump gets elected, that renews the optimism. And so we get the FOMO, and then we hit euphoria, and then we get the lower high. So see the lower high that just got formed? We just formed that lower high, and now we have a head and shoulders top triangle or chart pattern or whatever. And so next comes the breakdown. And so I believe that this Scottie Pippen, I like Scottie Pippen, but I don't think we're at a bear trap. I think that we just had the bull trap. Look, the bull trap. This is where the bulls are so groomed to just longing and buying every dip that they're not ready for what's coming next. Now, think of markets as a dance between being the Titanic ship and being the lifeboat. Now, when a Titanic sinks, there's all sorts of characters on board, and like these people who are bulltards till the very end, their heroism will not be forgotten, but they don't survive the sinking. They're the firemen below deck shoveling the coals into the furnaces until they're basically trying to stall the sinking tirelessly as long as possible. And so yes, they are heroes for that, for doing that, but they don't survive the sinking. And so if you want to be a hero in the tail and still survive, you have to be the naval officer. You have to be the captain of your own lifeboat and actually help people survive the sinking ship. And that's market Cipher. We don't try to be the captain. We don't go down with the ship. That's Michael Saylor. And so if this market does start collapsing, at around fear and capitulation, that's where Michael Saylor gets shit canned and triggers a deeper bear market. And we will eventually start bottom fishing and getting into that despair phase. And so that's why on this chart, I've highlighted some previous years, year-to-date VWAPs. This is the 2022 VWAP and the 2023 year-to-date VWAP. You can see them sitting down here at like 39K, 47K. These are worst case scenario, you know, bear market targets for you guys, so that you know that like this is like the lowest that Bitcoin could ever go to, in my opinion. Like, and that's basically, I'm assuming that, okay, we lose last year's year to date because we yearly leapfrog. We jump from this year to last year with the year to dates. And then that's kind of like a, quote, must-hold level for people. But there is a chance that that's only the halfway mark of the dump. And then we would end up clearing the last 3 years of year-to-date VWAPs. And then we actually could moon up higher. And so let me show you guys something kind of goofy here. I'm going to go to the COVID dump. We're going to use this little bars pattern here, and we're going to get that COVID dump. We're going to trace this pump here that came after. Now look what happened during that COVID Black Swan event. And watch how this kind of eerily lines up. So first of all, this has us pumping back up after this crash, right down to that region that we were just talking about, like the previous year's VWAPs. Looks like my leapfrog's not loading, but this perfectly fills those previous year's VWAPs. Check it out. I'll put a VWAP here on January 1. And let's see if the 2022 one shows up. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that if we copy a COVID dump scenario, we do get those fills of this year's, last year's, basically 4 years VWAPs, actually 2025, 2024. Yeah, 4 years of VWAPs. Look at that right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 VWAPs. If a COVID dump scenario did happen off of these bearish signals. And these are big bearish signals, guys. A monthly bear div. Crazy. And so I'm just telling you guys, beware of like something weird happening. Obviously, like something crazy needs to happen. But the VWAPs are suggesting that like these things could potentially happen. Is they're providing us the levels where if they happened, you know, this provides order and stability to our idea of where Bitcoin is and what Bitcoin's worth. But get ready for this kind of volatility. Get ready for 2025 to be like the craziest year ever. I mean, if you had a dump down to that level, you're extending this bottom declining support from back here, and you end up kind of having this bullish megaphone pattern. And ultimately, it just creates this higher low, and it looks pretty good. And then look, we get where we need to go by the end of the year. It's like February of next year, and we're at the cycle top. So interesting. It's always weird how when you do the bars copying, that it always like looks so uncannily like it could be true. But for the meantime, guys, we take this day by day. When it comes to trading it, we gotta follow that 5-day simple moving average trend, which right now is down. And so right now we're just dealing with the quarterly leapfrog for now. We'll have to dump down to that level. If we lose the Trump VWAP, we likely dump down to like 84. And there's a big decision that needs to be made at that level. Now, if that level gets lost, we'll talk about deeper. But these markets are quite bullish, and I think there very well could be a bounce here. But you guys know me. I have those big picture ideas. I like looking at these bigger VWAPs and seeing something before most people don't. So hope you like this video. Hope you like the analysis. And if you're shorting, good luck. And just want to say, I hope anyone in those California fires, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you got out of there. And I'm praying for you. And if you got wrecked or you're struggling with your trading, I'm praying for you. And if you're holding a bunch of Bitcoin, I'm praying for you. And you guys have a good one.